Gentlemen, that the Daywave trolls have taken responsibility for murdering. I don't think that he was murdered. I think he actually died of COVID. He was getting very sick, and they had him so paranoid that I think that he refused to get proper medical attention. But here, I'll show you. So this is, they wanted him to believe that they were everywhere and that there was this Masonic conspiracy against him and things like that. And I do think people were actually stalking him and did make him paranoid. His name was Brandon Kellogg, and they tried to make him very paranoid. Now this is me trying to bring him back to reality. I'm trying to explain to him because he thought this guy was doing street theater. He might have been. I said, could be a crackhead too. In Philly, we have hordes of druggies wandering around, or it should say hordes of druggies. It says hordes of druggie wandering about. Though what's interesting is that these gangstalkers, like for example Daywave, seem to be involved in both human and drug trafficking. Chief Handler Decides Your Fate was the guy that was threatening him. Maybe you shouldn't have pushed. He removed the comments. He removed the comments. What it was is Chief Handler Decides Your Fate said, that he was gone, and I said maybe you shouldn't have pushed him over the edge, and then this guy says, you couldn't terminate a fly. This is because Chief Handler Decides Your Fate said that he terminated his program. I noticed that he got rid of his profile because of the incriminating things that he was saying. Okay, well, this is one of the people that they kept pushing over the edge. These are the people that they pick on. This is what I'm angry about, okay? This gentleman is far, he needs help. And they scared him to the point, like Mary, where he was afraid to get help.
I'm going to do this YouTube video about gang stalking, what they're doing.
Now, what's interesting is he makes very good insights. But the thing is, they have it so you look like a lunatic, okay? He does have very good, very clear insights, but he also kind of looks a little bit crazy because of how paranoid he is. He's homeless, malnourished, not sleeping, not eating, not doing nothing but walking around all day. And he's very paranoid because people are stalking and harassing him. It's understandable, but if you weren't homeless, it's hard to understand that. I was homeless, so I do understand what it's like to not sleep, not eat, and have to move around all day.
That was this B2K thing. These people are illegal on paper. What they're doing, everything they're doing is illegal. They're harassing and stalking everything they do. Acting like they are something. They're all Masons, right? They're all in a cult. They're all racketeering, which is illegal. Using interstate stalking people. So they're going through different states, stalking me and other targeted individuals, driving.
Now, I fully believe what he's saying. If I did, the thing is, if this wasn't happening, they wouldn't have been harassing him to the point that they were, and they wouldn't be trying to push him over the edge like they were.
Around acting like they are something. This murderer, counterfeiter, terrorist, blah, 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 and it's all nonsense. This is what they do.
This is how they do smear campaigns against targeted individuals, is what he's pointing out.
Or retarded, or a nuisance in society. This is an offshoot program similar to the Stasi in Nazi Germany, if you remember that. These are all Masons doing this. The Freemasons are doing this. I have nothing to do with this.
Now, this is the thing. A lot of these people, when you're being gang stalked, they'll pose as Freemasons. What people don't understand is they're just taking photos of Masons off the internet, or at the most, they're buying Masonic regalia and wearing it and trying to look like they're Freemasons and saying they're members of the Illuminati. They're not members of the Illuminati. They're not Masons, but they want people to think they're Masons because it goes off of the paranoia about Masonry and it makes you look crazy. I don't fall for that crap. I know about Masonry. I've had family members in Masonry. I know what Masonry is. So I don't fall for that crap. But unfortunately, a lot of people do, and it makes them look crazy.
They've been stalking me for years. They've been harassing me for years. And I was born into this sort of thing that they stalked me all my life and harassed me all my life. and they try to keep you quiet. But I know the names of the groups of people that do this. I have dirt on them. And
I will admit it is kind of interesting that he wound up disappearing after he made this video. That is actually kind of interesting.
they'll say you're a pedophile, molester, rapist, murderer, counterfeiter, terrorist. Blah.
Remember, this is the things they were saying about me. They've also said these about him. They've also said them about other people. They've accused, for example, they've accused Donovan of protecting child molesters when it's really them that are doing it. That's the bottom line.
Blah, blah, and it's all nonsense. This is what they do. They falsify.
This is what's called projection.
Reports. They falsify everything. They stole my passport. They're trying to do things to me, you know, and I have nothing to do with this. So, it was intentional what they did to me. These people are harassing and stalking me every day. They use mind control like Monarch and MK Ultra.
Now, this is another thing. A lot of these people fall for this stuff with the intelligence agencies and stuff. This is not a government program. These are private citizens like Fat Ma'am, who's a private subject of Great Britain, and private citizens like JJ and Royce Lopez and Adonis. These are private citizens that are working together. These people do not have connections to the intelligence community or anything like that. They want you to believe that so that when you say that they have connections to these intelligence agencies, you look like a kook. I don't fall for that. My grandfather actually worked for Army intelligence. I don't know much about it because, of course, when somebody works for Army intelligence, they don't exactly talk about it. Okay, because that's another thing. That's how you can tell somebody's not in an intelligence agency. They tend not to talk about it when they're not involved at work.
Okay. We can name names, we could say names, we could say people's groups' names and everything, and put them on the spot, but it ain't gonna make any difference because let's say you're delusional and crazy. And you're schizophrenic.
See, he's gotten that far. He understands that they're doing this to make it look like you're schizophrenic, okay? But the point is, you can't fall for it. You can't fall for the, oh, we're in the CIA, we're Masons, we're Illuminati. That's all bullshit. It's a cover to cover up these private citizens that are working together to harass, stalk, intimidate, and who knows, maybe even murder people. And they might have even murdered this gentleman. I know that Chief Handler Decides Your Fate took credit for it. And you know that that Fat Man, a.k.a. Hat Man, I have a video of that. I'll leave a link in the description, literally threatened to murder me. Literally threatened to murder me. There will be a link in the description to that.
And ain't nothing's going on. And you call anybody up, and no one's going to answer to you. So that's how you know these people are crazy, right? They're making stories up, and they're stealing videos from me, like the Daywave channel, Virgie G or Virgie.
Notice what keeps coming up: the Daywave channel, Virgie G, JJ, the usual suspects. The usual suspects keep coming up, don't they?
Stealing my videos and making smut videos so they could say that you're...
Remember what I showed you with that face-off app, that app that they use to switch faces on different... They put your face into different things. They've put my face into gay porn, okay? So I know it for a fact. I know that they're doing these things. He's not lying. I showed you he's not lying in a previous video.
Something you're not. And they're also slandering James Clark III as a pedophile. And we all know that he's not. See, these people are sick. They're making stories up. They're targeting people. People are dying behind this program. Innocent people are dying.
Sadly, it seems that perhaps he died because of this. That's what it seems like to me. I hope this gentleman's okay, but I don't think so.
Because they're murdering people. They're targeting and murdering people.
It is interesting that he pointed out that they're targeting and murdering people, and then he disappeared.
They try to murder people. And it goes all the way back to every fusion center program, every governmental program you can think of that will say nothing's going on. Scratch their face at you. I mean, they've been doing this for years. I've never gotten even. I've never tried to argue anything. I just thought people were being people, right? Growing up, and what they're doing is...
That's the number one mistake. Like he said, he just thought people were being people. That's what I thought. I gave everybody the benefit of the doubt. I thought it was just a bunch of crazy people not working together, just a bunch of crazy trolls, okay? No, it was hardcore stalking. I didn't know that for years. For years I didn't know that because I'm not a paranoid personality type. I didn't think people were stalking me, okay? But when everything adds up, it's kind of hard to deny it.
Denying anything's going on usually. It's plausible deniability. But we all know that they're the ones doing it.
The plausible deniability is how they'll say they'll threaten to murder you with troll accounts and things like that. Of course, Hatman got really stupid and flat out threatened to murder me. But they usually use troll accounts that can't be attached to them. They use Proton Mail email accounts, and they have plausible deniability. They can deny that it's them, except when they're taking responsibility for it. They've taken a lot of responsibility for the stuff they've done to me, which is great.
Monitoring, harassment, stalking, and stealing of my passport and my ID. That's two forms of ID I can go anywhere in the U.S. with. Hotel that I stayed at stole it from me, the people that work there. They targeted me. They mind control as well. They'll say it's fake and you're delusional, you're a tweaker, you're crazy, you're schizophrenic, blah, 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 right? It's all bullshit.
See, they used to try that shit with me, saying I was schizophrenic, saying this, saying that. They still do occasionally. They know they can't pull that shit with me because I don't fall for it. I don't behave in that way. When I went to the one mental hospital, I was determined to be basically not crazy, not delusional. And it's been pointed out that this was happening to me by the psychiatrist at that mental health institution. Determined, yeah, I'm being harassed. I'm being targeted. Okay, how did he find that out? He Googled me. That's all he had to do. And he realized, yeah, this guy is being systematically harassed by a group of people that are criminally harassing him online.
Trying to take...
Not to mention in real life, but I don't have the evidence for that.
...over the U.S. They're trying to make people like me and you that are constitutional obsolete and or compliant to what they're doing. What really happens is they can't do anything as long as that Constitution stands on the U.S. soil. There's nothing they can do. You have your constitutional rights. You're born in the U.S. The problem is everybody is doing right. They're doing the jacket thing, and they're doing the stealing my things illegally. They're using the fusion centers and Homeland Security, and they're making it...
See, now, this is the paranoia that they put in these people's heads. Like, for example, Royce is one of the people... These people try to convince you. Like, Royce stated that he worked for the Department of Homeland Security. I was in the Coast Guard for, I went to boot camp, whatever. Okay, but, I was in the Department of Homeland Security more than Royce was. And I wasn't in the Department of Homeland Security. I just went to boot camp. Okay? But the point is, they try to convince you that they're DHS, the CIA, the FBI, the Freemasons, the Illuminati. Don't fall for that. These people are sick people. Now, they are working together, and they are acting in a conspiracy, but it's a criminal conspiracy of criminal actors that are private citizens. There might be law enforcement involved, There might be, and it seems like in some instances there is law enforcement involved. In my situation, it doesn't seem like law enforcement's involved. Law enforcement has been very helpful in my case, and very helpful in trying to help me figure this out and how to take action against these people. But in some cases, it does seem like law enforcement, perhaps in smaller towns and things like that, they do seem to be somewhat involved, especially and some of the targeted individuals. It seems like law enforcement is being used to harass them. Or is it law enforcement, or are they actors dressed like law enforcement? It really, like, that's the thing, is it sounds out of the question, and you would think it's out of the question until this crap happens to you.
Obsolete to what they're saying using no oversight. Go ask NSA whistleblower William Barr. No, not William Barr, sorry. William, Bill Binney. Bill Binney. Okay. And you'll find out that this is what these people have been doing since before 9/11. So this is back in the 2000s. What I'm saying is true. I may not have the top quality channel. I may not have all the flashy things like the other TIs have. And I may not act as important as the other people. But these people are really doing this and saying nothing's happening now. I have dirt on these people.
Now, what's also interesting is Gen Z Philosophy, who's a troll for JJ. He's an agent of JJ. He was the one that tried to get me to turn on this guy, trying to get me to think that this guy was nuts. And like I said, look, I think the guy's strange. I think that he might have been driven crazy. I don't think he started out that way.
I want to let you guys know that. And if there are any real targeted individuals out there, then you understand that I have dirt on these people, and there's not much they can do or say anymore. I have video evidence of them harassing me, interstate stalking, the evidence of them stealing and talking about stealing my things. I have evidence of them doing Freemason hand symbols. You understand that? So, like,
now, this is, like I said, with the Freemasons. You can buy books on Freemasonry. I could go to the Masonic Temple in Philadelphia and learn anything I want about Freemasonry all day, any day. These people are not Freemasons just because they know the Freemason hand signs. Just because I know some Freemason hand signs doesn't make me a Freemason. Just because I know the hand signs of the Boy Scouts of America doesn't make me a Boy Scout, although I was, but it doesn't mean I was. It just means I know those things. These are not top secret things, okay? And that's what people need to understand. These people are they're hiding behind a moniker of Masonry. They're hiding behind a moniker of the Illuminati. They're pretending to be government agents. They're pretending to be law enforcement. They're pretending to be lawyers. They're pretending to be these things. That is what they are doing. That is what they continue to do, and they're doing it to intimidate people, to scare people, and to make you shut down. They are liars, and what they are doing is illegal, but they are not Freemasons or government agents. Remember, Hat Man said that he was a James Bond-style MI6 spy, for God's sake. I mean, give me a break.
they've been doing this for years. And I have nothing to do with it. They've been trying to murder me for years. This is what these people have been doing.
Interesting he says that and then he disappears, isn't it?
You see how they're trying to kill me? They've been trying to kill Brandon, me. See?
Brandon Kellogg. That's who he is. Hopefully it's still who he is and not who he was. Brandon Kellogg. And Chief Handler, one of their primary trolls, took responsibility for his death. Now, as I said, I think he died of COVID because he seemed to be getting very sick.
These people are crazy. And I'm just letting you know that they're all compromised. They're all programmed. It's through mind control. It's through the deep state and other things. They do blood sacrifices. They're all satanic, right? I have nothing to do with that.
See, now this again, as a former Satanist, what I want to point out, this is the thing. This is like during the Satanic Panic. I used to think that the Satanic Panic was all baloney. What I will say is I do not think that the Satanic Panic had anything to do with legitimate religious Satanism. What I do think it had to do with is people pretending to be Satanists so that when they committed crimes against people, the people that survived the crimes would say that they survived satanic ritual abuse, when satanic ritual abuse doesn't actually exist, but people would think they were crazy, okay? Because there's no evidence of satanic ritual abuse because it doesn't exist, but they were probably doing these staged satanic things to make it appear as though it was a satanic something or other, so that the victims would then go tell the police or the teachers or whoever that it was some kind of satanic hubbubaloo, when it wasn't. It was staged, just like the nonsense with the Masons, just like the nonsense that they're government agents. They're not Satanists, they're not government agents, they're not nothing. Remember, Devil Man Incarnate, Hat Man, thinks that he's a Satanist, thinks that he's the devil incarnate, thinks all this nonsense. He's not a Satanist. He doesn't know the first thing about Satanism. If I was to debate him on the theology of Satanism, or even the cosmology of Satanism, or even the basic philosophy of Satanism, he wouldn't understand it. I would, because I was a Satanist. Hatman wasn't. He doesn't understand these things. He doesn't grasp what Satanism is. I do, because I was one. A lot of people, these people are not Satanists. They're posers that are using that as something to hide their crimes.
You're not going to blood sacrifice me. I won't let you get away with it. So, you understand that's what these people do. So, and they'll call you a child molester, counterfeiter, terrorist, gangster, ex-Navy SEAL, whatever, right? And you're none of it. They're acting. Remember that when they go across stateside to stalk you and camp out in their cars, and they get told to do that through any of the servicemen that are around, then they are using no oversight. They are using plausible deniability, therefore illegal, false people, falsifying themselves. That's perjury. You understand that, right? They can't do anything. This is considered, what they're doing to me is considered human trafficking. And they're not going to human traffic me. Let me let you know right now. They're trying to confuse everybody. So, these people, man, they're crazy. And there's nothing they can do. That's the first thing they go for. And for the males, for their targeted, they'll say that you're either on drugs, you are a child molester, you're a rapist.
Now remember, these are things, the only thing they haven't accused me of being on was drugs, but everything else they've accused me of. With Donovan, they accuse him of being a drug addict, when he's clearly not a drug addict. Now what's funny is, look at them. Look at them. They're all drug addicts. They're all alcoholics. They're all womanizers. I don't know if they're pedophiles, but I would assume that they probably are. But that's my point, is they accuse you of the things that they're doing. Projection, projection, projection.
Murderer, you're a terrorist. It's all bullshit. Because the Homeland does it, and the fusion centers do it, and they use no oversight. Ask, like I said, I correct his name, NSA whistleblower Bill Binney. You understand? That's what they're doing. But it gets much deeper than that. There's more to it. The whole thing with Edward Snowden is a farce. Edward Snowden is an asset to this whole program. They used him as a farce, man. As fake. These people really want to take over and control everybody. That's what the real New World Order is.
Now, I'm not a big believer in this New World Order stuff, but that's the thing, is that's what they want these people to think. That's what they want them to spout so that they look crazy.
people really want to take over and control everybody. That's what the real New World Order is. Do you understand? They'll say you're schizophrenic, nothing's going on.